Hey everyone, Kyle Bascombe here. Today we're going to be replacing the rear tail lamp on our 2015 C300. We're replacing our rear tail lamp because I recently noticed some condensation building up inside of the light, and upon closer inspection noticed that the light's actually cracked. Now, with our particular vehicle, we have LED headlamps up front, which means we also have LED tail lamps in the rear. There are really no user replaceable bulbs for this one. Once water starts getting in the lamp, it is going to damage the circuit boards that run the LED lamps. So, unfortunately, the only thing we can do in this instance is replace it. Same goes for you. If you notice any error messages on your dash in relation to bulbs being out, if you notice that your lamp is cracked, keep in mind, at the end of the day, this is a safety device. You always want it to be working properly. So, now that you know what we'll be doing today, let's take a look at the tools that you're going to need for the job. We've got a light duty impact, which is in the nice to haves column, but not totally necessary to do the job. We have a lamp so that we can see what's going on in the trunk compartment. This one's from Astro. Trim panel removal tool is going to be very handy to make sure that you can remove the clips without damaging any of that hardware. And then we just have an 8mm socket, T40 socket, and 1/4 inch 3/8 drive ratchets, as well as this ratcheting 8mm. Now that we know what tools we'll be using to do the job, let's go over to the vehicle and get started. All right, so in order to remove the lamp, we are going to need to get the lining and the false floor and this panel out of the way. So I'm just going to start by lifting this up. So for this false floor, there are two grommets that kind of hold things in place. So I'm just going to pop that one out. There we are. Lever the tool under and pop that out. This floor right here just slots in over here, slots in the back, and pulls out. Really simple. Sometimes you'll have toolkit or other things in here. For now, it's empty. We don't really have anything stored here. All right, next panel we're going to remove is this hard plastic piece right here. As you can see, one of the clips is missing, but there's normally a clip here and here. So I'm just using the trim removal tool to get under the clip and then popping it out. This panel, to remove it, we're going to pull up like that. Just slides in to some cavities in the body, and then you have a couple of clips up top that secure it in place. Now we have these three fasteners over here, or clips I should say, that we're going to need to remove in order to pull this lining back. If you have one of these nets, this is just pressure fit in there, so just pull it back and then you can remove it. Got a trim clip right here. Just going to try to get under it with my removal tool. Just wedge it out. Then we have another clip right here. Just popping this tab out. This is a, there we are. This is like a pin that retains that clip. And popping it out. This is a cosmetic clip, and behind it is a T40 fastener. To save time, I'm just using a light duty impact with a T40. All right, now I'm going to start peeling this back. I'm just grabbing a bungee cord so that when I peel it back, I can clip it somewhere in the trunk. So you've got this trunk seal here. You can either lift it all the way out or kind of just lift the lip that's covering the trim. Then when you get to the hinge, this flap separates. You've got your, we'll call it a courtesy lamp. I'm just going to unplug that. Now I'm just going to fold things back. And then, like I mentioned, I'm just bungeeing this so it's not in the way, so it doesn't try to come back and hit me while I'm working. So you've got 3 fasteners, one here, one where my index finger is, and then one in this cavity right here. Okay, so now I'm going to detach the electrical connector. So back here we have the one electrical connector that plugs into this tail lamp, pulling back this plastic pin. It's fighting me a little bit to come out. Wow, that wasn't fun. It's just this tab right here that I was pressing down. So to save time, just using a light duty impact. This is an 8mm nut. As you can see, that last one, a little bit of a space constraint, a little bit tight on the space, so I grabbed a ratcheting 8mm. That's what I'm going to be using to remove this nut. As you can see, and I'll show you, so you'll notice some of the clips were missing at the beginning of the video, and if you look at the head of this nut, you'll notice that either the wrong size tool was used or an impact was used to install this nut. Not something that you want to be doing on something that takes very light torque and is a stud in the body. All right, so we've got the 3 fasteners removed. There's a locating lug or locating socket over here. So I'm just going to pull from this corner first, and then I'll pull everything out away from the body. Whew. Then you just pull it away. This is the locating lug that I was referring to, and then these are where those 3 fasteners go. All right, so what you'll notice, all of the beads of water in the interior of the lamp, the condensation that I referred to at the beginning of the video, is the result of this crack in the lamp over here, allowing water to enter when it rains, and the water's got no way to escape, unfortunately. All right, so this is our new OE tail lamp assembly that we'll be putting in. Super simple. I'm just making sure that I align this locating lug with the hole on the body. There we are. Then just sliding everything in place. And then in the trunk, I'm just throwing those nuts back on. So there are 3 fasteners over here that are 8mm. I'm just using my smallest ratchet to tighten these guys. They really don't require a lot of force. All right, going back in, I just grabbed a 1/4 inch just to give me more space. The reason why I did that is because you can see that the head's already chewed up, probably from using a power tool or using the wrong size tool against that nut. I'm just kind of forcing things in. So we're going to use the right tool for the job. And as you can see, I'm choked up on the ratchet just so I don't apply too much force when I'm tightening it. All right, now we're going to plug our electrical connector back in, and that is it. Our new tail light is installed, and we're just going to work on putting the trim pieces and trim panels back in place. Okay, time to put things back together. So I'm going to undo that bungee. We're going to plug our courtesy lamp back in. Here we are. Kind of lightly tack that in place. Just getting our lip seal over this lining. There we are. Locking tab, that's locked in place. That clip is in. And we want the D-ring facing to the outside. There we are. I'm just going to slowly walk this guy down. Do the rest by hand. That's a T40 that I'm using for this one. Don't really need a lot of force on that guy either. Just using the other side as a reference, just to remember how everything faces. That's clipped in. Everything for this panel is back in. If you remember, that was just a pressure fit into the slot here, so I'm going to pull it back, slip it in, and then make sure it's clipped in on the bottom as well. All right. Normally there is a cover for this area right here. Unfortunately, our car doesn't have one, so won't be putting that guy back in. Now for this panel, like I mentioned, these tongues are going to go into these cavities in the body. There are actually 4 of them, but these 2 have seen a hard life. This car's been through some things. There we are. I'm able to hear everything pop into place, so I'm happy with that. If I remember correctly, there was one clip over here. There's also a clip over here. Just be mindful of it. Be mindful of that. Then I've got the floor cavity here. Yeah, I gotta move it. Like that. Perfect. And what I'm doing is looking for all my grooves where things need to align and slot in. Same for this side. I have one, oh boy, one right there, one right there. All right, so now we've got the, call it the trunk floor. Press that down. I'm going to get that one clip. Pin that in place. Normally there's one there and one there. So just one tip, one thing to be mindful of, if you have a car that is equipped with keyless go and you have the automatic trunk opener with the buttons, you may have the feature where you can use your feet to swipe over a sensor and it'll open the trunk. So if you have that feature, just be mindful that the trunk's going to open and close, or maybe open if your foot is in the wrong position. So keep the key far away from the car while you're doing this so it doesn't inadvertently open and close on you. All right, everyone, we just finished the installation of the rear tail lamp on our 2015 C300. As you can see, really easy installation, not much in the way of special tools, and not much in the way of time investment either. Only took us about half an hour to do the job. And if it's your first time, budget somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes to do it. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Also, if there's anything you'd like to see us do in this DIY series, be sure to leave that in the comments as well. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.